Hi, how are you doing today? This is Kim Reads Urantia. Nice to see you. And today we're going to read from the Urantia book. But first, I'm going to read to you a little bit from Light the Flame by Andrew Harvey. And today is July 6th. All right. And this is by someone named Lala. Now, I looked this up. Lala. Okay. And I found a couple of things. There's one reference to a East Indian astronomer named Lala. But there's another one that I think is probably Indian mathematician and astronomer who lived from 720 to 790 AD. But I don't think that's who this is referring to. I think this is referring to somebody named Lala Shwari, who lived in Kashmir in the 1300s, born in 1320 to 1392. She's known as a mystic and a poet, Kashmiri mystic, Shaivism school of philosophy. Okay, so I guess she wrote some poems. That's who I think this is. Of course, I can't be totally sure, but I'm going to just read this. Okay. Lost in the desert between true awareness and the senses, may I suddenly wake inside myself like a lotus blossoming in water weeds. Okay. A lotus is beautiful, like it's a flower in the muck, right? And she's lost in the desert between awareness, deep awareness, and the senses. Because you can be aware of your senses, but not aware of your spiritual nature. So, and there's an in-betweenness there. So she's in between there. And suddenly she wakes inside herself and realizes her divine nature, like a lotus blooming in water weeds. Okay, that's really lovely. Okay, I want to do that. Okay, let's read from my Urantia book here. And I'm on paper 11, which is about the eternal Isle of Paradise. Section 1, Divine Residence. Paradise serves many purposes in the administration of the universal realms, but to creature beings it exists primarily as the dwelling place of deity. The personal presence of the Universal Father is resident at the very center of the upper surface of this well-nigh circular, but not spherical, abode of the deities. Okay, so it's not spherical, it's circular. So it's flat, two-dimensional. Doesn't that seem like, and I've heard that another place, is that, okay, so we're emerging away from a three-dimensional reality into a two-dimensional reality. And that just doesn't seem like an upgrade to me. But there it is. And that's not the first time I've heard that. I can't remember where I've heard that before. Somebody said that. I don't know. But there can be a lot of dimensions. There's a lot of dimensions. I don't know. Maybe as a two-dimensional being will have access to more dimensions or something like that. Or if basically like a point is unidimensional, right? So you can fit a point in anywhere. In any way. And that's like oneness, right? Everything is one. But how strange. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I don't know why it shouldn't be spherical though. I like a spherical paradise, but I guess it's not spherical. It's flat. This paradise presence of the Universal Father is immediately surrounded by the personal presence of the Eternal Son, while they are both invested by the unspeakable glory of the infinite Spirit. So this I get. This is the 3 concentric circles that are emblematic of the Urantia Society, right? The central one is the Father, surrounded by the Son, surrounded by the Spirit. Okay, I got that. Okay, God dwells, has dwelt, and everlastingly will dwell in this same central and eternal abode. We have always found him there and always will. The Universal Father is cosmically focalized, spiritually personalized, and geographically resident at this center of the universe of universes. We all know the direct course to pursue to find the Universal Father. You are not able to comprehend much about the divine residence because of its remoteness from you and the immensity of the intervening space. But those who are able to comprehend the meaning of these enormous distances know God's location and residence just as certainly and literally as you know the location of New York, London, Rome, or Singapore, cities definitely and geographically located on Urantia. Okay. So this is an actual place. From you in the immensity of the intervening space, but they know exactly where it is. If you were an intelligent navigator equipped with ship, maps, and compass, you could readily find these cities. Likewise, if you had the time and means of passage, were spiritually qualified, and had the necessary guidance, you would be piloted through universe upon universe, and from circuit to circuit, ever journeying inward through the starry realms, until at last you would stand before the central shining of the spiritual glory of the Universal Father, provided with all the necessities for the journey. It is just as possible to find the personal presence of God at the center of all things as to find distant cities on your own planet. That you have not visited these places is in no way disproves their reality or actual existence. That so few of the universe creatures have found God on paradise in no way disproves either the reality of his existence or the actuality of his spiritual person at the center of all things. Okay, so that's good. So it's a physical place, or it has a location. It has a physical location, but in another part here, we were looking at that forward yesterday. It said that it's not actually in a location or something like. I don't know, what does it say? It says, okay. Now I'm looking at the forward, section 4, paragraph 12. Okay, the Isle of Paradise has a universe location, but no position in space. Okay, right? Paradise, paragraph 12, the Isle of Paradise. Paradise is not otherwise qualified, is the absolute of the material gravity control of the first source and center. Paradise not otherwise qualified is the absolute of the material gravity control of the first source and center. Paradise is motionless, being the only stationary thing in the universe of universes. The Isle of Paradise has a universe location, but no position in space. That's a jaw dropper. What the heck? But okay, I just, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got to just go with it, I guess. How does something have no position in space? So it's got a location. It has a geographical location, but it's not really part of space. It's got to be mostly made of energy or something like that. I don't know. Hi. Okay, but just because we haven't found this place doesn't mean it doesn't exist. The Father is always to be found at this central location. Okay. Did he move? Universal pandemonium would be precipitated, for there converge in him at this residential center, the universal lines of gravity from the ends of creation. Whether we trace the personality circuit back through the universes or follow the ascending personalities as they journey inward to the Father, whether we trace the lines of material gravity to nether paradise or follow the insurging cycles of cosmic force, whether we trace the lines of spiritual gravity to the eternal Son or follow the inward processional of the paradise sons of God, whether we trace out the mind circuits or follow the trillions upon trillions of celestial beings who spring from the infinite Spirit. By any of these observations or by all of them, we are led directly back to the Father's presence, to his central abode. Here is God personally, literally, and actually present. Doesn't say physically. Physically. No, I don't think it's physical. But there's a lot of things that exist outside of physicality. Okay. And from his infinite being there flow the flood streams of life, energy, and personality to all universes. Yeah, all right. Yeah, they do. I guess. Okay. I don't know what else to say about that. What else can I say about that? Usually I have a lot to say. So God is in a physical place. It's in a physical location, but I don't think in that place there is physicality, literal physicality, even though it is in a geographical location. All right. Okay. Okay, but then, God can't leave that place, but then at the same time, God is in everything. Primarily, God's in the mind of intelligent beings, but all of these the will of God is manifest in all of creation, right? So he's always, well, he lives in my mind. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it there. okay? And there's parts of God all over everything. God's children, God's not only physical mortal children, that the spiritual children are all over. God is everywhere in a literal sense, but it's not like pantheism where it's just everything is God. It's not like that. You know, literally, like a tree isn't God, a mountain isn't God. Okay, even though God's will is manifest in all these existences and all the, you know what I mean? Okay. All right. Anyway, let's wrap it there. I know this is kind of heady stuff, guys, and thanks for being with me. Okay. I love you. Bye.